Jesus doesn't have a public relations problem. We do. Whereas Jesus was pretty much universally respected throughout people of whatever faith background, Christians, on the other hand, are more well known for our stance against certain issues than our commitment to following Jesus. And we believe that a solution for that, at least in part, is recapturing the discipline, the spiritual habit of celebration. Jesus loved a good party, and Jesus' people have always been party people. We believe that a party is a great place for somebody who's disconnected to encounter Jesus and his people. Let me tell you why. Throughout the Old Testament, throughout God's people's history recorded in the Bible, we see people celebrating in the following way. First, they would give thanks to God. Second, in relationship with others. Third, reveling in the gift that God had given to them. So in the Old Testament, we see that immediately after establishing his covenant with his people, God gave his people a calendar of celebration. And he built a line item into their budgets that was for the purpose of celebrating. Their feasts contained those three elements. They would give thanks to God in relationship to others, reveling in the gifts that he had given to them. We see this in the New Testament time too, in the time of the early church. There was actually a cultural practice at the time where professional guilds would meet at tables that had been brought out into the street. Only those who belonged would get an invitation, but Christians, when they came in knowing this cultural heritage that they had of being people who celebrated, party people as they followed Jesus who loves a good party. Christians then would gather together also in the streets like the professional guilds did, and they would push these tables together and they'd be feasting there, and as people came home from their workplace, they would call out to them, invite them to join them in this meal, this celebration. And what did the celebration entail? Well, giving thanks to God in relationship to others, and reveling in the gifts that God had given to them. Now, whether you realize it or not, very likely you've also been in a biblical celebration before. Perhaps you were even the host. Was there a time when you gathered together with other people for the purpose of celebrating the gift that God had given to you? Some sort of significant event, a birthday, a graduation, something like that. During that time, did you have other people who mattered to you, people that you cared about and loved, who were there joining in the celebration? Well, you were giving thanks to God in relationship with others. The third piece, reveling in God's gifts, might have been as simple as a prayer that was said before the meal, or a toast thanking God for his gifts to you and the gift of relationship to be able to enjoy this gift with. And if that element wasn't a part of it, you can see how easily it could be added to make any celebration a biblical celebration. Jesus loved a good party. Go read John 2 if you don't believe me, about Jesus turning water into wine at a party. Jesus' people have always been party people. And we believe that a celebration, a party, is a great place for a disconnected person to engage and encounter Jesus and Jesus' people. As we live out that rhythm of celebration, we'll become known, not for the things that we are against, but rather for the Savior Jesus whom we celebrate, the one to whom we give thanks. So who do you think should be invited to your biblical celebration? Who should be on your invite list? And what kind of party would they be most likely to respond to an invitation to? Take a moment and jot that person down.